Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different because I have a fellow YouTuber with me on vacation. I thought I'd take the opportunity here, spend a little bit of time and talk Tesla and find out a little bit about him. So I want to welcome Mr. Rafael Santoni from the TesLatino YouTube channel. Thanks for coming and visiting.
Thank you for having me, man.
Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you grew up and what do you do for a living and that kind of thing.
I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. When I was about 29 years old, that's when I moved to the US, to Florida. And I live in Sunrise, near Fort Lauderdale, near Miami. My job is, I'm a technologist. I work with a technology company and I'm a systems analyst. So that covers a lot of stuff, different areas, but mostly, managing systems, some programming, all that good stuff.
How long you been doing that for?
Pretty much all my life. I've always been tinkering with technology, but I've been in the company for almost 10 years now.
Yeah. So obviously you're into cars. Just curious to find out what your history, like what kind of cars have you owned? What have you done to them? Like what's your angle on cars?
Wow. I probably have owned about, 15, 20 different cars, from very extremely low budget to my current Tesla, which is not out of the charts in terms of price, but it's probably the the most expensive car that I bought. I've had Hondas and Fords, and I mean the spectrum of Japanese and American cars. Some German have Porsche, and I used to race.
Mm-hmm.
I started racing pretty young because my dad used to race, but I was doing go-karting and then I did some drag racing for a while, but that was over pretty quick. And I got bit by the road racing bug, so I did some road racing as well in Florida. But I haven't done that in a while, but I used to we were a group of friends and we used to take engines apart and balance them and blueprint them and rebuild the transmissions ourselves and all that good stuff. So yeah, I played a lot with race cars.
So considerable modifications to the car for track purposes or
Yes.
just general?
I did everything, the cars scene in general. You always, putting new stuff in the cars, making them unique. Incredibly making them loud, which is now seems like an odd thing to do. But I have a special place for, high performance gasoline engines, but now with the Tesla, where speed does not equate to noise, it's totally different, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So out of all the cars that you've owned, what was the most favorite, aside from the current car?
I had a Honda S2000. That was like a little go-kart. It was a lot of fun on the track. And I really enjoyed my Ford Mustang that I had.
What year was that one?
That was a 97 4.6 liter Mustang GT.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. It was loud. It was really loud, but it was a lot of fun on the track.
Uh-huh.
I like to have the ability to rotate the car and drive it sideways.
Yeah.
As opposed to the car that I really raced hard was a Honda Civic, which was front wheel drive, but I would go toe to toe in the rain with any car. It didn't matter what brand it was or how expensive it was. Yeah.
So as a family car, traditionally, because you have kids, right? Well, they're grown up now.
Yeah.
Right. But in the day, did you have a minivan or was it a sedan? What did you drive as a family car?
Actually, I did have a minivan for a while, but I've always had like a special place. Like my daily driver was always sporty, whatever it was. So the Mustang, the S2000. I had a Camaro once, the Porsche, and of course,
Which Porsche?
It was a 924 Turbo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was actually my dad's, but I counted as mine also because I played with it a lot. Yeah, yeah.
So you had some fun with some good cars, yeah?
I did. However, my fastest vehicle was not a car.
So I want to talk to you about that because not a lot of people know that Rafael, much like myself, has a love of motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
So, but not a lot of people also know that you had a pretty serious motorcycle accident, 2, maybe 3 years ago?
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
Yeah, and so tell us about that motorcycle, what your experience has been with motorcycles in general, and then maybe tell us a little bit about your accident, if you don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, my love affair with bikes, motorcycles, started when I was barely walking really. I mean, when I was growing, there were these things we called mini bikes, and they were basically like a lawnmower engine strapped into a frame.
Those. In the 70s, I remember those.
Yeah, basically some tubes and a cushion and throttle, go at it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Very loud, very slow, but they were fun. We would do some things to make them faster, but yeah. They were barely like a couple of feet off the ground, and they were tiny, but they were a lot of fun. And then after that, I had like, a scooter, like a lot of people like those. I remember one was Honda Spree, I think it was called. I had a Honda Rebel, a Harley Davidson Heritage Softail. I had a big passion for the Ducatis, but I never owned one. I had a friend that had one, and I tried it once. Rode sports bike like the Ninjas and Secas. I mean, all kinds of. I always loved motorcycles. I wanted to buy a Honda CBR, but I never got to it. That's when I moved from Puerto Rico to Florida. And then after a while being in Florida, one day I was just driving around in my Honda S2000 looking for something. Just driving. It was a nice Sunday, and I stopped at a motorcycle store, and I just decided to take a look at it. I spent some time the night before looking at Hayabusas.
Suzuki,
yeah, Suzuki Hayabusa, which is a sick bike. It's a sports cruiser. It looks like something came out of a sci-fi movie or something. I don't know how to describe it. So I was always in love with that, and that day I don't know, I just pulled the trigger and bought it.
Just
I was
just total impulse.
Total impulse. I was actually out looking for a small part for my car, and I just ran the numbers, and they said, yeah, you can take it. I was like, okay, so now I need to figure out who's gonna pick my car, and then I'll take the bike with me. But yeah, I got a Suzuki Hayabusa 2011 bike. On the year it was manufactured, so
it was
miles.
a 2011, right? So
yes, brand new. 1,340 cc's.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's white. It was white
and goldish.
Yeah,
it's an insane,
just mental bike.
Mental. You could floor it at in second gear, you would do in 30. You just punch it and just go up in one wheel.
No popping the clutch or anything. Just lift the front wheel.
No, if you pop the clutch, you
flip over.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that was a powerful bike.
And you own that for? Well, you still own that one.
I still own it. Yeah, I still have it in my garage. But it's a little bit ugly right now.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I had a couple of years, like we said earlier. Yeah. Motorcycle accident. I was on my way to the office. I was on my way to work, and it was I'm here because it was a low speed accident. Low speed. The impact was pretty brutal.
Yeah. Like I've known you for a couple of years now, and spending the better part of a week now since you're on vacation. We'll talk about that here in a second, but I noticed that it has affected you a lot physically.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about that? And, well, of course, there's some emotional impact there too. So if you don't mind talking about that, just let us know what happened.
Yeah. So I was on my way to work, and somebody invaded my lane, or just probably doing, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 miles an hour. And the car in front of them stopped. So they stopped, and I had nowhere to go but either hit them or try to evade the impact. And so I opted for trying to avoid the impact, and I lost control of the bike a couple of times. It slid one way, then the other one, and then when I woke up, I was on the ground with broken bones and ribs, shattered leg, ankle. My shoulder is still kind of dislocated. I live with that. Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough. Yeah. Have you gone through physical therapy and stuff, or any other kind of? I
spent right after the accident. So the day of the accident, basically the ambulance took me straight into the hospital and emergency surgeries, and I was out for almost an entire week on drugs for the pain. After the surgery, they put some plates and screws. I think it was like 14 screws to keep my leg in place. You don't have those
plates or screws anywhere to come out?
I had no. So after the hospital, so I spent about 8 or 9 months in bed.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't walk. I had to have everything done for me. Everything, absolutely everything. Until one day I just got tired of it. I crawled. My house is two stories, and one day I just couldn't take it anymore, and I crawled like a snake up the stairs, and I bagged my cast, because at that point I was just wearing the cast, and I got under the shower to get a shower after 9 months, so I couldn't take it anymore. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
But after they removed the cast, I started doing therapy, and it took me about a few months. But then when the progress was supposed to get better, it actually started going backwards, and come to find out that my body wasn't working well with the stuff that I had in it, the stuff they put inside. So they had to do a second surgery to take everything out, and I have some permanent damage, some things that I need to be careful with. I also have back problems from the accident.
Yes, I've noticed that a number of times. You get in the car and it's just like pinching a nerve.
Yeah, I have to be careful how I move.
Yeah.
But if it so it's hard to put in words, but I lost this will to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just depressed all the time because I couldn't run, I couldn't get on the bike, I couldn't do things. I had to have everything done for me, and I just, I was waiting for the Model 3. And it almost literally, I want to say, I don't know if it's dramatic to say it saved my life, but in a way it did. Not only the car, but the community, the people that I have met through ownership of the car, and the many things that I'm doing now because of it. It's just...
It's revitalized you?
Absolutely. I'm back to being myself. So now I'm always happy.
That's good.
I'm always having fun, doing something that makes it fun for me or anyone around me.
Yeah, I've noticed especially on Twitter, because you're quite active with the communities and visiting people and stuff, and you're a very personable, friendly, approachable guy. It's pretty cool to see. So I'm also curious, like at what point did you get involved with Tesla? Like before you bought your Model 3, like what brought you to Tesla? You've been following for a long time? Like where did that come from?
Since its inception, it intrigued me. I'm a Jetsons kid. I always dreamed about, this modern era when cars would fly, and I always thought it didn't make any sense for me to see RC cars, remote control cars, electric and gasoline, and the electric ones were in a way quicker, and no sound and no noise, like no fumes or anything like that.
You're talking about the nitro, the old nitros? Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's just, I was always questioning myself, why are cars not electric? Right? And then that kind of died away, like I forgot about it. But when I heard about Elon and what he was doing, I was like, oh man, that would be insane. And then they came up with the Roadster. I said one day I'm gonna have one. And then I realized I was too poor for it. It was too expensive, but I always had that dream and always followed what he was doing, everything, not just the cars, everything else. I learned about his history with, the other companies that he launched, and how he got his fortune, and how he spent every cent he had, and in a way similar to how I live my life. I don't give up on anything, and that's partially why I'm here today, because I fought hard.
Yeah. So I'm curious about the Model 3 situation. Were you like a first day reservation holder, or did you watch the reveal and kind of wait a little bit? Like what prompted you?
I put down my deposit before I saw the car, because I knew from knowing what they were, what Tesla was doing, it could not be a mistake. So I just went ahead and, that day, I think about 12 hours before the reveal, I was at my local Tesla store, and I put down my deposit right then and there.
Were you waiting in line for any amount of time, like overnight or something, or you just walk into the...
No, I just walked in. Actually, I took a break from work, and I went in my lunch break, and I literally just walked in, and there was one person putting a deposit, and then there was an employee that was waiting for anyone else to come in, and that was me. Like, I didn't even have to wait.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it was early. It was hours before the reveal. and I just couldn't wait. I took a picture with the guy that took my deposit.
Yeah, I think most of us did at that time. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
So obviously you had to wait a while to get your Model 3. So when did you pick yours up? You've had it for how many months now?
I picked it up on May 29, 2018. It's like the child was born. I know it's
the date we always remember,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, so roughly a little bit over a year now, like a year, 2 months and a half, something like that.
Yeah. And which Model 3 did you buy at the time? Well, obviously it's probably what, a long-range rear-wheel drive?
The only one that was available, long-range rear-wheel drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so far it's been great.
Oh my goodness, I've driven all of the U.S. basically. I've driven through almost every state. I'm headquartered in Florida, close to Miami. And I went to Silicon Valley. I went to Los Angeles. Been to Philadelphia, Texas, Key West. It's so much fun.
Four corners.
Everything.
Got to get out to Oregon.
I have to try to do everything. So I'll take anyone wants to give me ideas of good places to visit. I'm probably put it down on my list.
Yeah. I'm just curious about your paint job, because obviously with your car it's very unique. I mean, your car is midnight silver, right? The traditional gray that everybody likes.
It was.
But tell us about the paint job or the finish you have on the car, because it's very unique.
Yeah, I use a product that is a do-it-yourself type of product. It's called a company dipyourcar.com sells it as Plasti-Dip, and it's probably not the best product out there for this type of stuff, but I like to do things myself and whatnot. And even though I didn't really spray it, two friends were the ones doing the actual work. I was filming it, so I could put it on my YouTube channel to show people, how much fun we had doing it. And it's a crazy paint job. It's the guy that sprayed it doesn't like me calling it paint, because it's not paint. It's
it's a rubberized.
You call it a liquid wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sprayed like paint, but it comes off as latex. Yeah.
And what is the pigment? It's like a color shifting pigment. So in the sun, it's like green, or sometimes it's purple. It shifts, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because there was no actual paint with the colors that my car has. So we sprayed it with 16 coats of black.
Wow.
And then 4 coats of clear. So you would think the car would be black, but so the clear, we sprinkled this dust. They call it color shifting pearls. And you mix it well with the clear coat, which is the top coat. After the 4 coats of the clear were applied, the car looks like that. It shifts color. The spectrum is from like a teal almost to a purple. Yeah. Yeah, depending on the angle of the light, you see different tones. It's insane.
I know it gets a lot of looks, because we've been driving around for the last few days, and everybody like, what is that?
Yeah, it's a neck breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a permanent finish, right? So if it gets damaged or you get sick of it, whatever, you can just kind of you peel it off like a rubber glove type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, it works like it protects the car as PPF, as paint protection film. Yeah. And whenever I get sick of it or it looks too bad, I'll just peel it off, and I can replace it with any other color that I want, or just go back to the original midnight silver. Yeah.
Would you do it again?
I will do it again.
You will do it again?
Yes.
Are you prepared to talk about what you want to do? Anything different, or kind of the same?
I think I want to stay within the lines of color shifting. I'm not sure yet what tones, but I also ordered a Model Y. Okay. And I have a feeling that the cars are going to look like twins or something.
Oh yeah? You got some plans for that?
Yeah, make it fun.
So the Model Y will be a secondary vehicle? You're still going to keep your Model 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. I mean, these cars are so efficient and so much fun, and we still have to replace 2 more cars in the household, so hopefully
gasoline cars, you mean?
Yes. Yes, we have 2 more gasoline cars, so the Model Y is going to be replacing one of them, and then we'll figure out what's going to be the next one.
So your Model 3 right now, if you had the option, like, would you want to upgrade to something different?
I will get a performance Model 3. Yes.
Is your car for sale? For the right price, maybe?
For the right price, maybe, yeah. I'm not actively trying to sell it, but it's a great car. I keep very, very good care of it.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. It's clean.
Yeah. The road trips,
with the finish you have on it, I mean, if you peel it off, you got a brand new car underneath.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The original paint is intact. So yeah, I want to do that. I mean, the whole point of me painting the car or spraying the car with this color scheme is I'm always trying to find ways of engaging people and have that chat about, you know, what is it, what this is.
What is this? Yeah.
Yeah, like why am I driving electric and how does it work, and you know, what's good, what's bad. And yeah, I found it easier now because people approach me asking me about the car, like, what did you do?
They notice the finish you have on it first.
Exactly. Yeah, because if not, the car just blends kind of, you know, unless you're like really paying attention, you may think it's something else, not that it's an electric car, because it's a, you know, it's a normal car. I no
From the
longer
outside.
From the outside, yeah. Inside is a completely different thing. It's a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I like to call it, a spaceship.
Yeah. So I understand you're also the president of the Tesla Owners South Florida group, or club, I should say, officially recognized by Tesla?
Yes. At the end of last year, of 2018, I started talking to Tesla about becoming an official club recognized, you know, by Tesla, because I was already doing meetups, just, you know, people that I meet through Twitter or just locally that have Teslas. I'm always visiting my local store and service center, and I was already like getting people together along with Michael Bodner.
Yes.
So we decided, let's make it more official, right? So that we can do things with Tesla and help the mission of, you know, sustainable energy and transportation. So after much talk and stuff, we finally got approval, and we became an officially recognized club in Florida. So we are the second official club of owners in Florida.
I see. So there's another club, but that's just Florida in general?
Yes.
Okay.
We are so we are called the Tesla Owners South Florida. But the reality is it's just a designation. We concentrate on the South Florida region, but we do things all over, right? We go to Central Florida for, you know, space related
launches,
stuff.
as one does, right?
Yeah, we go to Kennedy Space Center or any other place, and it's just all about, you know, spending quality time with the community. And we also go to events that are not, you know, Tesla events, just so we can participate or like car shows, for example, meetups, where there's everything is not electric, right? Not electric cars. So when we show up to those events, people are like, "Oh wow, I didn't know that there were so many Teslas here in Florida." And we, you know, answer questions, and we have like unofficially sold a bunch of cars because once people learn, and one thing that I try to do always get people to sit inside the car, if possible, take them for a ride, and then, I mean,
That seals the deal.
yeah, I don't really try to sell the car. I just try to educate people, because you know, I don't really get anything monetary value or anything like that for me.
Yeah.
It's just being able to share what we're doing and educate people in general, because we need it. Yeah.
How many official members do you have, or do you know?
Yes, right now we're 130.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Basically that has happened in the last couple of months, because at the beginning we're just organizing and stuff, and it's just, you know, me and Nancy doing everything, and just now we have a little bit more help, and we're going to do at least once a month an event where the group gets together. Sometimes it's going to be just the club, or we will be attending some other location.
I'm a member of the Ontario Tesla Owners Club, and it's a wonderful group of people, and you get to do different things with them and stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend that people join a club if you can, because you just meet some great people. I mean, online is one thing, but in person is a different animal altogether.
Oh yeah. Sure, Which, by the way, I have to thank you, because you organized like a receiving group of us coming to visit Canada, and I got to meet a lot of really cool people.
That's right.
Yeah, I think at some point there were like 20 cars, and even people that were not part of the planning of you know, attending that meetup, that were good in the Chargers, came up to us and formed part of the group, because they saw that people were having fun, and it was great.
Yeah, the one thing that I've noticed, of course, this is not about me right now, but it's with the community of Tesla owners, especially online, is because we all talk to each other. It's like one big family, so it doesn't matter where you go. Yeah. It helps, of course, if you have a YouTube channel and some social media presence and stuff. But yeah, I've noticed, you know, when we had the little meetup and everybody was out and everybody's talking to each other and having a great time. So yeah, it's always fun. So I know last year we talked about you were going on vacation, and I said, well, why don't you come to Canada? And well, here you are. It's your first time visiting Canada?
Yes, first time
on
ever.
Vacation?
Yeah.
So what do you want to tell the viewers about Canada? And like, I'm not forcing you to say anything. You just say whatever the heck you want. I'm just curious, since this is your first time visiting, what do you think of culture, people, landscape, temperature, obviously, because it's not Florida? What are your thoughts so far?
Well, the landscape is crazy beautiful. Everything that I've seen so far is so beautiful. Like,
you have to remember though, you've only seen this
yes,
much of Canada. I mean, it's pretty big.
But driving in, you know, through the border and seeing, you know, the landscape, it's different. It's the same in a way, but it's different. Most of the people that I met, very, very nice. But like you said, I'm just, you know, a little bit time here, so I don't have much to compare. I know we're going tomorrow to the Niagara Falls, I think, right?
Yep.
But one thing that impresses me the most is that Canadians don't have to worry about things that we need to worry about in the U.S.
Such as?
Weapons, the violence that we live through in the States.
Mm-hmm.
You always have that in the back of your mind. You know, you go to places and you never know if you're safe, because now it seems like nowhere you go is really safe. I don't live in fear, but you always have it on the back of your head. Mm-hmm. And here with the, you know, it's so different, mm-hmm. right? And I know there's all kinds of people in all places, but that's one thing that I admire of the country, right? Canada is, I don't know, more relaxed when it comes to those things. The fact that I don't want to get political, but you know, because you know, a lot of people, you know, have this love affair with weapons, and mm-hmm. But it's not about that. I think it's much more than that. It's bigger. But in general, I love the country. The temperature was surprisingly hot. Has been. Last
we
night,
get that a lot.
Yeah, last night was better. It went down to like the low 60s.
Well, when we had the meetup, we were almost heat stroke. It was hot.
Oh yeah, it was. And I've been in hotter temperatures down in Florida, but for some reason it was brutal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but still, you know, having fun with people, it makes you kind of forget that.
We get a lot of that from people when they come up and think, "Where's the snow?" Well, there's no snow. Come back in February, we'll have a little chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us on the channel and having a little fireside chat, I guess. And for all of you who are watching out there, make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll put a link down on the bottom, and you can check out what Rafael is up to. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Thank you for having me,
Trevor. Nice meeting you again, and you're always welcome in Canada, and of course, our place.
I will come back. I'll be back.
I'll be back. That's what Arnold said. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.